Hey everybody, it's Spencer, Defense Training, defensetraining.org, Facebook /Defense Training, or go check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. Here to bring you today the next step, number 5 in our muscle memory building series. If you haven't seen the other 4, make sure you go back and check them out. This is number 5. A couple things to know. All 4 cardinal safety rules, make sure you follow them. Treat all guns as if they are loaded at all times. Keep the guns pointed in a safe direction at all times. Finger off trigger until you're ready to shoot. And know your target was beyond. As far as your target, make sure you have something up so you have a point of aim on your wall. Lock your doors so nobody come in running around, all that good stuff. Clear your firearm. The firearm again that I'm using is a laser gun. Make sure the magazine is empty. Rack the slide several times to ensure the chamber and magazine well is empty. Put an empty magazine back in, and now you have a clear firearm that we can work safely with. We're going to go into holstering today, and there's a couple things we need to know as far as holsters are concerned. I've got a couple firearms here, and I've got a couple holsters down here as well. But some things we want to look for. Right here on this holster, it has a trigger guard. That's what we want to look for. It has an actual, it covers the trigger, and we want that. I've got another trainer. It is clear. I've already cleared it. It's an airsoft trainer, but it's a licensed airsoft trainer, so I can practice with airsoft. Which has some really great benefits, especially force on force. But if you see, my trigger's covered. My finger can't get into that trigger, or anything else can't get into that trigger. This is a crossbreed Kydex leather holster. This is a really good holster. It would have a clip right here. I kind of borrowed the clip. I'm using it somewhere else. But this is a good holster. Trigger's covered. There's others. They have what they call pancake holsters. They're just little nylon, cheap holsters. Well, I say cheap, some of them cheap, some are not. But it's just a cloth basically. But my trigger's covered. This is what I'm looking for. Belly band holsters, ankle holsters, the corset holsters, the ladies cover, the bra holsters, the flashbang holsters, the ladies. Make sure your trigger is covered. As well as when you're holstering, make sure when you holster you get this finger up. Not only do I need it outside the trigger guard, I need this finger up. There was a lady that actually shot herself the other day reholstering in one of the bra holsters, the flashbangs. And what she did is her trigger finger went on the trigger, and as she was holstering, she hit it. That's enough pressure, boom, it shot her. We don't want that. So when I'm going in, I want to just lift my finger up, and I'm good. When you're pulling, when you're drawing, don't put real tight down on the holster. Just let it sit, and when it comes out, it will just come out right along the slide. And that's what we want. Up, out. Now you need to practice that. If you're not used to drawing and holstering, you need to practice that. Get that finger up off that. There's a couple things we also need to know. My finger's along here. When I'm holstering, I don't want to come in like this. It is easier to do this with a lot of holsters, and I've seen it many times at the ranges. You don't want to do this. What you want to do is have a slight cant. With this holster, I don't carry a holster on the side, but with this holster, I can actually slide it down in here. When I slide it in, finger up, in. Show that from the side. Come in. This one, I would come in here, up. Make sure it's locked. And that's how you would holster it. Nobody's ever won a competition in holstering. So don't worry about speed in holstering. Don't even worry about speed ever building up in holstering. I take my time. I don't care if it takes me 10 minutes to holster my gun. That's fine. Drawing's a whole different story. When you draw, there's a few things we need to look at when we're drawing. Typically when we draw, I kind of pull out on my gun so it's pulling away from my body. I kind of cant it out to my right. It would cant this away. So I just kind of, you see how the holster is pulling? That's how I kind of pull it. So when I come out, the gun actually, instead of going straight up, it comes here. So it will be canted away from me. Now that's what we're looking for. I don't put a lot of pressure here. For those of you that have that locking mechanism here, make sure you get that finger off that thing. Make sure you hit it, and as soon as it starts drawing, get that finger up. There's been many people that have shot themselves in their leg because of that button. I don't like that button. I'm not telling you not to use that button. You better be careful though. With holstering and drawing, again, I'll go from the side, it comes out, then I'll come around. When I'm holstering, I'll come in here, finger up, and I go down. Take your time, make sure you do it over and over and over and over, get used to it, make sure you're doing it good and safe. Now, when you're drawing, there's a few things you need to know, because this is a concealed carry muscle memory building series to point shooting, and holstering is part of it. So I've got a shirt over, so I've got to get this shirt out of my way. And with the side carry, what I'm wanting to do is I'm going to grab this, two-handed, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to come up and I'm going to pull. See how tight my shirt comes right here? That's what I'm wanting. Now, I can get my holster up and nothing bothers it. You don't want, make sure you don't have it here, because if you grab here, this isn't doing you a whole lot of good. Make sure you get this shirt up and tucked. Now you can draw and you can come out. One-handed is a lot harder and you need to practice, and I will tell you now that I am not in great practice with the one-handed side draw, because this isn't the way I carry, nor is this the way I practice. So, but what you got to do is you're going to come up kind of with your thumb, you're going to come up, and you're going to make sure that when you pull that up, you're just going to come up, pull it up out of the way. There's a little more to it. Why would you need to do one-handed? Well, you might have a broke arm. Or you might be trying to fight this guy off. He might have a knife and it was too close, so I'm fighting the guy off. I'm deflecting the knife. However, or maybe he come up and I was able to block the knife and I was able to grab him around the arm. So I would come up in. Now I'm still fighting, remember that. And then I could come into him and I could pull the trigger. And that's what we're looking for with a one-handed draw. You just take that thumb and you get, and the best way to do it is to get that thumb hooked. Get it hooked under there. I know a lot of people do it this way, but when I try to do it this way, it tends to catch back there and it falls off. So I hook it and then I can pull it. And that's what you want to practice. So while you're practicing it, you're going to want to practice pulling your shirt up and drawing. And when we're doing that, we're going to go all the way out. We're going to extend all the way out. And we're going to pull the trigger once we find my point of aim and adjust. Make sure your point shooting is right. Adjust. Look down at your sights. So it'll look something. A couple other tricks. If you see something that you think is about to happen and you can't get out, if you can get out of a situation, by all means leave. But there's a lot of situations that you can't, and you may not be able to leave safely anyway. You know, you can always just grab your shirt, just kind of stand here, and then if the guy's attacking you, he's coming at you, make sure you get that shirt up. You're coming out, make sure you're still focused on here, make sure this is canted out. This is where we're building muscle memory. You'll come in, here, click, off, now. Act like he's fell. Now I'm going to come back here. I'm going to continue to watch him. I'm not even worried about holstering at this point. We'll go over that later. But reholster, shirt down, draw, here, out, boom, here, in. And just practice over and over and over. That's all we want to practice. Then you just holster it down. This is the hardest part, the holstering. It takes the longest. Now I can go faster, or I can build speed, will build with time, but it will just, and you just keep going, you reholster, keep going back, reholster, keep going back, reholster. Couple things to know when you're drawing and you're pulling out on that extension. If you want to control recoil, one thing on the extension, when you're here, this is basically an isosceles stance, and if you're here, and if this is the way you stand, and I don't work on stances a whole lot, I do work on some, to try to build a little bit of memory, but form is going to go out the window. Form and fancy is going to go out the window in a situation anyway. So if somebody's attacking you from this way, you're probably not going to be turning toward them. You're probably going to be more like doing this because you're going to be watching, and then I might turn. But one thing you need to do is if you lean a little forward, just a little bit, get your body extended, you'll be able to control this recoil a little better. And it doesn't matter if I'm here. Let's say somebody's attacking me from my side and I can't get my body turned fast enough, but I come here, my feet are faced kind of like this. But I'm leaned over toward my target, I'm hitting my target if you're able to aim. Now you may not be able to aim within your point shooting, and I'll go over that because there are some ways that when you're coming up, if you're just instinctive shooting, you may have to do, and I'll go over that in another video. The way I carry, there are those of you that may have went this route. I don't carry on the side. I carry the appendix carry. You have to watch out for that. Keep the gun pointed. I kind of lean back and I holster in. Now, if somebody's attacking, I would have to pull, and this is where, if I think something's about to happen, I grab my shirt. Now with this, I reach up and almost try to touch my chin. I basically try to punch myself in the chin. It sounds funny, but I reach up, see where my hand's at, it's right below my chin. Now I can come, and when I pull from here, when I'm coming up and out, I come straight out. Now, if I have time to get my extension, I'll come in. If I don't have time to get my extension, my hand's here, and I'll just go ahead and pull the trigger. If he's right within here of me, boom, 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 I'm going to pull the trigger. I may have to put my head to his hand, or my hand to his head or something, and boom, boom, boom. It doesn't matter. I've got it here, but if I can extend out, I'm going to come out, I'm going to extend out. Finger here, I'm going to watch, may stand up a little bit. I'll look, make sure it's okay, and then if I have to holster later on, I will. I'll come here. Now, get this shirt up if you carry the appendix or wherever you carry on your body. This shirt's got to get up. This shirt is plenty out of my way here. Now, one-handed is the same way. I kind of want to get this up, and I'm going to have to go way up, come down, and come out. So it's going to be here, here, here. And then I can come in here if I need to. Make sure this hand's out of the way. With this one, it's easy. When I come up here, I just come under and it's here. With one hand, now why would you need to have one hand? You're fighting a guy off or you broke your hand. But let's say you have something in your hand and you're dropping it and you're coming up. So you come up and now you're here. Make sure you don't do this. Get this hand back out of the way. Make sure it's out of your way. So you're here, it would be here, now I can come in. So practice that over and over and over again, 5 to 10 minutes a day for the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next 3 weeks, however long it takes you to practice that. And speed will come with time. Don't practice speed, just practice pulling, drawing, extending, boom, here. Holster, oh my goodness, I see something going on, oh, I've got to draw, boom. Here, in, here, here, there. And you can do this very fast. You will build up to where you can do this very fast. It gets quicker and quicker and quicker the more practice you have. I tell most of my students, as far as learning your firearm, you've only scratched the surface putting 1,000 rounds down range of actually being able to learn the recoil. And each firearm is different. I'm fairly proficient with my 2 firearms that I carry, but if you hand me one of your firearms, your trigger feel is going to be different, your recoil is going to be different, and I may not be proficient at all with that firearm, or to the point where I want to be. I can hit the target, but it's not going to be touching the bullets the way that I like to do it. I'm not going to be punching holes within holes. So make sure you get proficient with your firearm. This will help proficiency as far as drawing. Click. Here. Alright. And this is what helps build muscle memory proficiency. And you'll get faster and faster, and you won't even be trying to get faster. It will just start coming. It will just start flowing, and that's what we're looking for. This is the holstering and drawing portion of this. We're going to get into more, and we're going to add more and more and more to it. And then we'll get to the point where hopefully my goal in all of this is to take those of you that may not know a whole lot about concealed carry, that may not know a whole lot about guns, that may not know a whole lot about defending yourself. My goal is to get you through these videos to the point that you're comfortably confident about defending yourself. Again, this is Spencer, defensetraining.org. Stay safe, stay armed.